Jay Clayton, former SEC chair. He was Gary Gensler before Gary Gensler. And he believes that Bitcoin ETF, a spot Bitcoin ETF, could be coming. In fact, this interview right here, this is only a minute long. Let me play this for you guys. In fact, this interview right here, this is only flat out asked out, hey, when is the Bitcoin ETF going to come, right? So let me play this.
Can they say no to a spot ETF? For how much longer?
Well, it goes to that issue. I think that when the SEC approved the futures-based ETF, they said, let's look at the futures market. We see the surveillance. We see the protections in that market for the end investor that are sufficient. We don't see them in the spot market, so we're going to make that distinction. I think what the institutions are arguing is that those distinctions have gone away, and now the spot product is actually less drag, more efficient for the investor. So if there's not that delta in regulation, not that delta in what I could say efficacy, the spot should be approved. That's the argument that's going on right now. Look, the regulatory process, whether it doesn't matter.
It's been a while already.
It's been a while already. What I would say is this: if they're right, that you can demonstrate that the spot market has similar efficacy to the futures market, it would be hard to resist approving a Bitcoin ETF.
To sum up, yes. Michael Saylor said it best. Bitcoin is coming to Wall Street. Bitcoin spot ETF. Basically, the only thing that was different, basically he said it, is really that's the only thing people could point to, is this surveillance thing that the futures market has and somehow the spot ETF didn't have. But all the big boys now added surveillance partner, Coinbase. So basically, it's just a firm that's go verify prices. That's really it. So BlackRock and Fidelity, they're using Coinbase. Others are using Coinbase or someone else, but I think almost everyone is using Coinbase. And plus, they're using Coinbase for custody. But bottom line is, there's really no reason why a futures ETF exists, but a spot doesn't. In fact, you can argue, yeah, futures is actually more volatile, more dangerous. So really, based on what Jay Clayton said, spot Bitcoin ETF should be coming, right? So this is huge. Trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars that may be flowing in because of spot Bitcoin ETFs. Awesome. Very awesome. And that could change the entire landscape for Bitcoin as we get into the latter half of this year and as we enter 2024. So these predictions about 120,000, 125,000 could only be the beginning if you're having so much FOMO, right? If you're looking at the spot Bitcoin ETFs, look at all these. I mean, you have ARK Invest, you have BlackRock, Van Eyck, Invesco, Fidelity, Valkyrie, right? Bitwise. I'm sure there's others. Let's not forget Grayscale is also in the picture. Grayscale is trying to convert their Bitcoin Trust into an ETF too. So there's going to be many others that's coming into space. Bottom line is there's a lot of money that will be flowing into the space. And speaking of Ethereum, we're going to get another L2, this time from Consensus. So there is another chain coming out called Linea. I believe that's what it's called, right? And it is using ZK technology. So there is going to be another L2 coming aboard. There's just so many projects right now that are coming out, L2s, which are scaling solutions for Ethereum. There's a lot of them coming out, and they are all battling one after another. So we'll see. We'll see who comes out on top, but the market is definitely big enough for more than one. So right now, Arbitrum is leading the way. You got ZK Sync, you got ZK EVM from Polygon, you got Optimism, right? And now we're going to have Linea as another that will be coming into the space. What else? Unfortunately, AlgoFi, which I believe is the biggest DEX on Algorand, is shutting down. voluntarily, not do a hack, not do anything malicious. They are just shutting down because they can't make money. Or it could be because the SEC has declared Algorand a security, so they don't want anything to do with that. So basically, they will be going into withdrawal mode soon. And I don't know what that means for Algorand, if there's any other DEXs that will be coming on board and taking its spot, because as far as I know, that they're like the only DEX on Algorand. I may be wrong on that, but they're the only DEX I've heard of on Algorand. I haven't heard of anything else, so that's unfortunate. And then what's also unfortunate is recently Multichain. A lot of you guys heard Multichain. They were exploited, supposedly 130 million. Now it seems like it's an inside job. Someone on the inside took the keys and started moving the funds out. Now, some of these funds, 65 million out of the 135 million, they have been frozen by Circle and Tether because they were the hacker or hackers were trying to move USDC and USDT. So about 65 million is locked, but the other 65 million don't know what's going on with it. But unfortunately, it does seem like it's an insider job, which kind of sucks. And speaking of Polygon, today actually Polygon is doing pretty well. Today you may have noticed Polygon is recovering a little bit, 9%, almost 10%, right? Over the last 60 days, 90 days, they've been a little weak, but now it's starting to come back. Polygon, one of my favorite projects. Love to see them in the top 10 again soon. But you know, what's driving Polygon's growth right now, right? I mean, there's not one particular thing. I think they've just been too oversold. I just realized my camera's off. I think they've just been too oversold. People just over panicked and oversold. Really no reason for it to drop so much, and really no reason for it to come up other than people realize, well, maybe it's too oversold and I should accumulate a little bit more, right? Polygon has two chains now. They have the regular chain and their ZK EVM, but also they're working on their 2.0 architecture, which is a ZK based chain. It kind of combines both together. Okay, but right now they have two chains. They also just promoted their chief legal officer into their CEO, so they have a new leadership. They're trying to expand. They're working with so many brands like Starbucks and NFL and Reddit and Nike and I don't know, even more. I mean, they work with like every single brand. Their ZK EVM is also going up. Their stable coins. This is looking at stable coins. TVL is going up through the roof. So, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of transactions happening within Polygon, ZK EVM. So those are all good. And speaking of partnerships, they just formed another one. Okay, with Deutsche Telekom. In fact, they will become a validator for Polygon to evaluate, to see what else they can do with Polygon in the future, right? So, again, pretty bullish. So, there's a lot going on with Polygon.